What's up, everybody, and welcome to my AEW Grand Slam. I should be saying Grand Slam 2 review. This is the second year of the Grand Slam. Queens, New York, off the Ash Stadium out there. A lot of big things on this show tonight. Some a little bit odd, frustrating booking decisions, but there was a lot of big things and a lot of title matches on this show tonight. Definitely a lot of title matches, as a lot of title changes happen. Also, we kicked it off though with the Ring of Honor Championship on the line. Chris Jericho versus Claudio Castagnoli. Bobby Cruz, basically being the announcer out there. Even having Ian Riccaboni on commentary. And Kerry Silkin was in the crowd too. So a lot of Ring of Honor presence here tonight on this show. This match, though, wow, I did not expect the finish of what was going to go on here. I didn't really expect the title change, but yeah, Chris Jericho. Even I thought the finish looked kind of bad in a way because what Jericho, he was about to get hit with the neutralizer by Claudio, but Jericho hit him with like a backdrop. Claudio landed on his feet, which he basically had to run into Donald Stevens there, Aubrey the referee, which he like go back and look like he did like a flip, and he just kind of just ran like had to act like he tripped it and almost fall into her, but basically he turned around and Chris Jericho hit him with a nut shot, just kicked him in the nuts, and then hit a Judas effect, and then won the Ring of Honor Championship. So I'm very surprised that happened out there. Very surprised by that. The rest of the Jericho Appreciation Society came out and celebrated. Daniel Garcia just kind of stood, looked, almost kind of dejected as Jericho celebrated winning the Ring of Honor. Win the Ring of Honor title. So yeah, folks, Chris Jericho winning the Ring of Honor Championship. Wow. So what does it make Chris Jericho an 8-time world champion now? So he's been how many champion times he's been a champion in different companies? What, from the WWE to WCW champion? Well, I don't think he's an ECW champion, to AEW world champion. Now the Ring of Honor world champion. Okay, and I'm just going about world titles, not titles he's won in different companies, but world championships. Okay, but didn't really expect that coming. The crowd looked pretty surprised too. By the way, big crowd out there tonight. I don't know if the set looks different than it did last year. I thought it looked a little bit smaller. I know the ramp looked different and everything, but it's still like a pretty big crowd out there in general. Very loud crowd out there, by the way, too. But yes, Chris Jericho is the Ring of Honor World Champion. Yeah, that's surprising right there. Next, though, we did get the AEW Tag Team Champions on the line. Um, with Swerve in Our Glory, which Swerve and Keith Lee came out with like the New York Knicks colors with Rapper Fabulous out there. Good to see Fab out there. I ain't really been seeing Fab in a minute now, but we know Fab. I know Fab is a big wrestling fan. Last time I checked, I know it's been said before. So good to see Fabulous, the Acclaimed out there. Coming out there with DJ Woo Kid. I will admit one of their rhymes was pretty clever about the Little Mermaid. We gonna turn your bitches black like the Little Mermaid. I got that one. That was a pretty clever line he did from there. But this was a very good tag team match. The crowd was just super hot for the Acclaim, and I mean super hot. They were more hotter here than they were back in Chicago. Okay, and I know everybody thought that they should have won the titles there, but man, they were just super over the scissor me daddy thing and all that and whatnot. But all three of them, just like I said, the Acclaim, Billy Gunn was just super over. But I did have a bit of a problem with the finish though. Okay. Now I know Swerve started arguing with Billy Gunn out there, which the referee had tried to hold Keith Lee back. Billy Gunn ended up hitting him with like a famouser and telling him to suck it then, throwing him back in the ring as the Acclaim hit the mic drop and got the win, become the new tag team champions. Super pop for them out there. A lot of confetti shot out then. So, like I said, I'm glad they won the titles, and this was the right decision. They struck the iron while it was hot, since they didn't, do it back at All Out and everything. With I guess Tony Khan was like, yeah, we gotta strike the iron was hot. Mr. Crown Jewel himself still taking shots at WWE, but can't control his old people in the back right now. But hey, that's a different story for another time. But yeah, the Acclaim were super over. I would have liked it if they just won clean. Did they really need Billy's help? So this is the second, like I said, the second dirty finish out of the night. First, we had Jericho kick somebody in the nuts for a title, and now we got the Acclaim winning titles with help from Billy Gunn in a dirty finish. So I would have liked if they just won over clean and just done it from there, beating Swerve in our glory. Basically, Swerve walked off. Keith Lee basically, followed in and whatnot. Since I feel like that's gonna be breaking up soon, so we'll see what happens there. But yeah, the Acclaim super over right now. Probably the biggest, one of the best things of the night. Just super big pop. FTR talked about saying they've been the number one contender since April 7th. They hold 3 sets of tag titles right now. The Gun Club showed up saying they're the top guys and everything. Like, you guys have lost your momentum. By the way, are they ever going to defend any of these belts anywhere? Even I'm wondering, like, you still got those IWGP tag titles. I don't know when the next New Japan show is. If they'll ever be in Japan. I don't know if they were announced. I think they may have been announced for Royal Quest. I don't know what they've announced. So they're just holding the titles just because. But then again, you could say about the Ring of Honor and the AAA tag belts right now. So when will they ever go for the regular AEW tag titles? I have no idea. Um, Next thing you know, Wheeler Yuta is about to be interviewed by Tony Schiavone. MJF came out there. MJF got a huge pop out there saying that these people worship him. And, basically, they would let him do anything. They let them let them spit in their mouths if they wanted to, or even sleep with their wives. But, he's not going to do that because he has standards, okay? And he's a generational talent. But Yuta says, yeah, you're a generational talent, but you're low hanging fruit and whatnot. And I guess he said, oh, you just got engaged. And I hope your fiance is smart that, you walked out on all of us. MJF called them like, congratulations, Yuta. You went from having personality of you went from drying paint to a pet rock personality. I thought that was hilarious. You in the Blackpool Cuckold Club, right? MJF was hitting the lines out there. Okay, that was good. But he said, Moxie and Daniels are gonna fight to see who faces me. Okay, why they can try to help you, but they can't help you much. Even your buddy Yuta there can tell you how to pop, and William Regal they can tell you how to pop pills. Yuta slapped them. Next thing you know, W. Morrissey came out then and started choking out Yuta. Schiavone tried to get involved, but MJF pushed him down. MJF and Morrissey started taking out Yuta then until security came out and broke the whole thing up. So basically, once again, MJF just being cheered big time out there. Next, they went to a Jade Cargo interview, which, by the way, they've kind of toned down the cursing on this show. So when she said "cut the shit, Tony," you saw that they kind of bleeped it out for a quick second there. Like I said, they really have you know less down the cursing, so you can go back and hear that bleep. But then next thing you know, Diamante shows up and she says, "Yeah, I told you I was gonna bring in the OG baddie, the baddest bitch from the 305." They brought in Trina, rapper Trina. So man, we just bringing rappers. Hello, I'm surprised we didn't get more New York rappers on, just rappers in general. Like I like everybody else. I know, like we just gonna keep bringing in rappers so we can alienate the white fan fan base and whatnot. Just alienate them, which I would say keep it up. Also, I'm like, damn, we having rappers like who about to show up from New York next? The Locks, Jada Kiss, like 50. Yeah, 50 may cost a lot. It probably can get Ja Rule maybe. Like it's a lot of New York rappers I could go on and name right now. French Montana, Fat Joe, and I'm just naming anybody. What Joey Badass? Like, oh, come on, man, we could bring in a lot of people right now. Like, see, I got Action Bronson wrestling on here on Rampage for Friday. So, yeah, I was actually surprised to see Trina on there though. But hey, she's still the baddest bitch. So, yeah, I thought they were actually gonna bring someone in like wrestling wise, but yeah, we're more rappers. Pac went against Orange Cassidy for the All Atlantic title. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't paying much that attention. And then again, I'm sitting there like, whoa, another disqualification. Not disqualification, but dirty finish. Okay, it's like they're trying to copy Raw from Monday. Raw wanted to do like 4 or 5 different distraction finishes, so AEW now wanted to do. I can do. I'll do like Tony Khan's like, you know what? I can outdo them. We'll just do all these dirty finishes. So let's have Pac hit Orange Cassidy with like the ring bell or the hammer and then pin him. So what you're telling me is that Pac couldn't beat Orange Cassidy clean. Come on now. Come on. And the referee clearly sees it, but some of these referees either blind or dumb. Like just Rick Knox level dumb at this point. But yeah, like what was the point of that? Like come on. Like did we need another finish, just another dirty finish out there? Also, fatal 4-way for the AEW, I say interim women's title. Athena, who had new music, Britt Baker, Serena Deeb, Deeb's Dojo flag, and Tony Storm, which I have now agreed with a lot of people, and that she has lost a lot. She has lost all of her thickness at this point. She is not thick as she once was. But this match, wasn't a bad fatal four way. It was pretty good. Once again, Britt Baker ended up getting hurt in this match. Another probably broken her nose. And I know what the move was back when I think Athena was doing like that double, like holding both her up, and I think Tony Storm trying to go for like a fallaway slam or something. Basically, Athena landed on Baker's face, and then you could see her heavily bleeding. Then it ended up with Tony Storm just kind of getting like a roll up cover on the Baker. Then, but Baker attacked from behind. Then next thing you know, Jamie Hayter came out. What I said, she was bleeding heavily out there from the nose too. So how many times is that gonna happen? But she turned Baker around, and then next thing you know, they smiled, and they ended up attacking Tony Storm. Deebs ended up attacking Athena. Then as the heel stood tall, Baker took out Athena, and then had a rubber glove on. But then next thing you know, some music hit, and we don't know who it was. Next thing you know, which got a huge pop on there, Saraya, formerly known as Paige. Paige came out. Hey, Paige got. I'm trying not to say Paige right now, but Saraya got a huge pop, and whatnot. Crowd was going nuts for it, so it's good to see her. I know she had left WWE about a couple months ago now. At this point, now the real question is this: is she going to be able to wrestle again? Is she medically cleared? That's the real question, because we know about Saraya's neck and everything. We know hasn't wrestled in the past, what, 3 4 was it been 3 4 years now since the whole people blaming Sasha for kicking her in the neck and all that stuff. So Paige is, like, I'm trying not to say Paige, but she is a name. She was in the WWE for a while. They did look at her as a big thing. She was a pretty big thing at one point. It's like I remember, NXT Women's Champion, even debuting on Raw after WrestleMania, and winning the Divas title from AJ and stuff. She was a name, okay? Like Paige, it's not like Paige was not a name, all right? Because I could come out on here and make a whole bunch of jokes and say, like, the street. She's now returned from the streets. Like, I can go on about the tapes and the videos and a lot of things, because I've said it before. I'm surprised Paige even held a job in WWE that long for the shit she's done over there. Like, man, she must have some good dirt or something, because, like, damn, they was letting this girl get away with anything damn near, okay? Like, damn, you took a load to the face with the NXT Women's title? Like, like, come on. But I'm not going to be mean right now, okay? But, no, the real question is this. Can Saraya, will she be back in the ring? I don't know. But I think it is a pretty big get for AEW right now, to even have her on their roster. Like I say, if she's medically cleared. But she did get a pretty big pop out there, so I was surprised to see her. Gotta say, she looks different nowadays. I don't know what's going on with that. I know some people are going to bring up the plastic surgery, though, which she has kind of had some work done in the past few years, because even I thought she looked really pretty different out there. We had a body bag with Darby Allin carrying through the streets of New York in a subway, saying next stop Arthur Ashe Stadium, as they went through the matches for the 2-hour edition of Rampage that's going to be going on this Friday. We got to the main event with Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson for the AEW World Championship. MJF was sitting somewhere in a luxury box watching. I enjoyed this match. I enjoyed the match back at Revolution, but I will say this. I really expected Danielson to go over here. Okay? I didn't even think, this was gonna happen, because what, he lost to being choked out by MJF. I mean, by Moxley. Danielson. I really believe Danielson was gonna win. I thought this was gonna be the time. I don't really want to see the belt back on Moxley again, but then I had to think about it. Let's remember here. MJF was mostly, when he was doing these promos, all of it was mostly directed towards Moxley. So in a way, it kind of gave away who was going to win this title now. So now I believe that Moxley is just going to drop the belt to MJF. Maybe they didn't want Danielson losing to MJF, but then again, they could have done something different at the same time by putting the belt on Danielson and going against MJF. Maybe he loses, maybe he doesn't, okay? But I probably would have wanted to see the match. I don't really want to see another Moxley title run. I just don't. Like, by God, like, what, you lost it, won it, lost it, like literally just lost it like a couple weeks ago. It's like, what, 2-3 weeks now at this point, since the All Out pay-per-view, the CM Punk and all that. But now he's got the title back again. So I'm just assuming like MJF. So even MJF sitting out there basically already told you who was gonna win. This is still a good match, don't get me wrong. But even MJF just sitting out there already kind of told you that Moxley was gonna win. most of those promos was focused on Moxley than it was focused on Danielson. Let's remember that, okay? So it kind of gives it away and whatnot. Even Moxley's what after the what promo with Mox, some of the promos they've been doing with Moxley lately, even after the what happened after All Out, him doing that. So it kind of told you who was gonna win the title. Okay. Uh so like I said, I'd rather have had Danielson win. I would have wanted something different. I don't know if they just didn't want him losing to MJF, but I'd rather have gone someone different and just play it safe going back to Moxley again. But I'm just assuming Moxley's just gonna lose the title to MJF. That's what I see happening. Overall, pretty entertaining show. A lot of title changes. New Ring of Honor World Champion. I think the Acclaim still probably have one of the biggest pops of the night, win the tag team titles. New AEW World Champion and the debut of Saraya. Also, I didn't want. I will say I didn't like the whole not disqualification, but all these dirty finishes just from Jericho, like literally right off the bat, like back to back to back, from Jericho doing a dirty finish to even the Acclaim having a dirty finish. Even Pac, like goddamn, you couldn't beat Cassidy on his own with the Pocket Man. Like we still got two Pac technically double champion out there at least, but man, you couldn't beat the Pocket Man for some reason. I don't understand that. Okay, but you know, I would say it was a lot of stuff going on in this edition of AEW, especially in the Art Dash Stadium. We'll see what happens this Friday on Rampage when they do 2 hours from that. I'm sure it's going on right now, but I'm staying away from spoilers and stuff. So we'll see what happens this Friday on Rampage. Okay. Other than that, subscribe on me on Twitter, HoodNight890. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys then. Peace out.